Hello, everyone, and welcome to the April Beyond the Sea webinar presented to you by the National Network of Libraries of Medicine Southeastern Atlantic Region. I'm Nancy Patterson. I'm one of the Outreach and Education Coordinators here. And before I present our presenter, I just need to take care of a little housekeeping. We automatically muted everyone when you entered the room. This will make for a nice, quiet presentation. So at the very end, when Tom takes questions, you can unmute yourself by clicking the microphone icon next to your name in the participant box to speak, or you can enter it in the chat box. Now, if you're not seeing the chat box or the participant list, you can see it by clicking there's a green tab at the top center of your screen. If you click that, you'll get a drop-down where you can select the chat and participant boxes and open them up. You can drag them onto another monitor, whatever works for you. So hopefully everyone can see those. Also, if you need closed captioning, I have put the link for closed captioning in the chat box. You'll also see there's a link to the handouts for today and a link for the webinar where this recording will appear in about a week or so. At the very end of the webinar, I'll share a link for the MLA CE certificate and evaluation. So you can do that at the very end. And that takes care of the housekeeping. Without further ado, I'd like to present Tom Pinho. He's our presenter today. And I'm lucky enough to get to work with him every day, so he's one of my favorite people, and I think you'll really benefit from his expertise. He's the Instructional Technology Specialist here at the University of Maryland, Baltimore at the Health Sciences and Human Services Library. He has been here for 10 years, and honestly, we all just sort of, anything we're working on, honestly, we ask Tom to make it pretty. But he really is the poster guy and has done some really amazing posters for us, which has won some recognition throughout the years. So I'm delighted that he can share his skills with you today. Prior to being here, he spent a decade training graphic design professionals about tricky software and design gymnastics, again, making the world more beautiful. And recently, he's been working closely with library faculty here to develop a best practices poster design workshop, some of which you're going to benefit from today. So without further ado, I will hand things over to you, Tom. Thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you, Nancy. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm truly honored to get to speak with you all today about one of my favorite aspects of my work here, creating posters. It's my first time doing a WebEx, so I trust you will all be gentle with me. I have a little housekeeping too before we start. I'm told that it's customary to share PowerPoints and such, and I'm happy to share everything I've got with all y'all. I went ahead and prepared the handout as well, which Nancy's already given you the link for that. And it'll have all the relevant links and such that I'll be introducing today. So don't panic if you think I'm going to miss something. Just go ahead and wait and download the handout. It'll have everything. Like I said, it's my first time doing WebEx, so if you don't mind, you can ask your questions as I go along in the chat, and when we finish up at the end, I'll circle back around and address them all when we're done. So with that out of the way, welcome everyone to Drab to Fab, making conference posters that pop. I'm your design Sherpa today. My name is Tom Pinho. Like Nancy said, I've been messing around with Adobe products for a long time. I've been working with Photoshop since version 3.1. That's like 23 years ago. After that, I picked up Quark Express really shortly thereafter. That's a page layout and design program, and I've been hooked ever since. Other kids were playing Doom, and I played Photoshop. I got my certification, and we made it all official during my tenure at a medical publisher, where I was their in-house software specialist that was training the designers to use Adobe's offerings. Eventually, I stumbled into my current position here at the Health Sciences and Human Services Library at the University of Maryland, Baltimore. Officially, I am an instructional technology specialist, but don't worry, they don't really know what that means either. I just usually say that I make things work and look pretty. So without further ado, today we're going to talk about a few things, and I've broken it down into 5 different areas. We're going to start off small and touch briefly on content. As a designer, I rarely break the cardinal rule of touching the content I'm given. I've even been known to leave typos and summon an author to my desk to get their okay to fix it before proceeding. The what you say on your posters is definitely strictly y'all's purview, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention some best methods on how you say it. After that, we're going to talk about pictures. We'll get a little technical and even do a little math. I'm sorry, it's important though. We'll talk about ways to use different images and look at some of my go-to sources for finding the right photos or illustrations. Then we're going to talk about text. Here's where we start getting into the nitty-gritty, and it's truly where I start with everything. We'll deal with fonts. There's a lot more to life than Calibri or Helvetica or Arial, trust me. Next up is my favorite section, teaching PowerPoint to Tango. You'd be surprised how good of a dancer PowerPoint can be, provided you know how to lead. Now, I honestly spend most of my days in InDesign, where when I'm working with posters, and anything of mine that you've seen at a conference has come from InDesign. But, and I mean this with sincerity, there's nothing in my final PDFs that can't be made in some way using PowerPoint. I'll touch on a few super useful tricks that you may not have known about, so hopefully even the most veteran template jockeys out there will pick up something new to add to their tool belt. And then we're going to wrap up with what I'm calling the good, the bad, and the ugly. Here's where we're going to take a look at some of the things that I've done and talk about how I managed to do them and why, and finally wrap up and answer questions from y'all. So why don't we just dive right in? Let's start talking about defining and refining your message. It's a common mantra and something I've probably said over and over to our authors here. Less really is more. This applies both to academic style posters as well as the outreach poster. Though I'll admit it's probably harder to pare down an academic poster, chock-a-block, full of research and results. In either case, the poster isn't the entire conversation. The viewer needs to bring their part in, and they need to be able to get a thought in edgewise. This is where white space comes into play. It lets your viewer process the content in a calm and orderly fashion. White space truly is your friend. Sure, you're probably thinking, he doesn't know. I've worked with 6 authors from 5 community centers and libraries to get all this content, and now I need to throw it all out. Not at all, but you can distill it to the most important points and provide all your excellent support materials in a coordinating handout. Handouts don't just have to be a printout of the poster. So the main problem is you end up with too much text more often than not. When you do that, you lose the emphasis on the real point you're trying to make. One of the main goals of my work designing posters, especially academic and outreach posters, is to make sure that it's noticed and even remembered. That's salience, and it's one of the overarching principles of good graphic design. It's the focus of attention. You want to be careful of word salad overload and edit yourself harshly. With too much added, instead of intriguing passersby, you can wind up fatiguing them with having to hunt for the meaning or purpose of your communication amidst a wall of words. I understand academic posters and even some outreach posters want to convey a large wealth of information at once, and the poster is a great tool for that. That's just asking a lot of your user. So help them out, filter out the noise for your viewers, and offload detail-rich information to a handout maybe. The poster's done its job of providing that spark to ignite curiosity. Let the takeaway fan the flames, all right? And my last note on content may be a bit trite, I admit, but it's really true. This isn't just limited to textual material, but all of your design elements overall. I know I like to put a complete bag of tricks for things all the time in every poster I do. Everything gets a drop shadow. All of the photos get borders. If 3 images are great, then 10 are spectacular. I try and copy an adorable script I saw on Pinterest, and then I have to stop. You need to put the poster away, go get some coffee, and revisit it with some fresh eyes and see what you can remove. You pull things off item by item until you have the strongest conveyance of your message. Next, we're going to break into images. Your photos or your illustrations, the choices that you make for those, they set the tone for your poster content. Once you decide that, once you decide that you indeed need an image to help make your point, think about the feeling that the image evokes in the viewer. A simple search for camera can help convey different ideas just by the imagery that you choose. Here I've gone and done a search 3 different times on 3 different search engines for a camera. The first one I have comes from Pixabay, and this one is definitely more contemporary and sharp. It's instantly relatable, and it gives your poster a crisp and polished feel. The next one I have came from, where did I pull that one from? That one came from freeimages.com. This one's a vintage, aged image, so it had some warmth and maybe even some charm to your message. And then the final one that I'm going to share came from the Noun Project, and this is more of an icon instead of a photograph. Icons are really good at making universal, pure communication. I mean, that right there is a camera without content. It's straightforward and simple. So make sure you understand what your photos are saying and how they help bolster the conveyance of your message. Stay on brand with the rest of your poster. Okay, now we come to the math of images. Printers work by spraying ink or ironing toner onto pages, and they do it in a method that's like one of our childhood favorites, the light bright. Each tiny droplet of ink or speck of toner is measured as a dot, like one of the pegs in a light bright. The standard measurement that's referred to is dots per inch. That's the industry standard, and for printers, it's usually 300 dots per inch. So imagine a light bright that's able to cram 300 of those different colored pegs onto each single linear inch of space. That's to say that for a square inch, you end up with 90,000 pegs or dots. And that's how your poster is laying down the ink or the toner. Now, your computer screen, that's a different story. Unless you have a Mac that's running a Retina display or some specialty monitor, you're going to generally be between 75 and 110 pixels per inch. This really only gives you a scant 5,700 to 11,000 pixels per square inch of screen space. That's a big difference from the 90,000s that you get from the print, and that's what we have to address coming up. It's worth noting that the higher pixels per inch actually occur on smaller screens. So if you have a 22-inch screen, you're probably going to have a higher pixel per inch than a 27-inch screen has. That's why they make things bigger. But here's where the difference comes into play. That vintage camera that I used earlier, I went ahead and I printed it out as a PDF, that particular slide. And you can see that that slide printed out, it's at 56 by 31.5 inches. It's down there in the bottom left corner. Okay, so I'm looking at this at 100%, how it would actually print out on a poster size image. And you'll notice I have this jagged pixelation on the strap especially, so you can really see it. It's not the image's fault. It's got plenty of pixels. This is actually the fault of using PowerPoint. See, PowerPoint's meant to make presentations that are displayed on a screen at around 100 pixels per inch, instead of being printed at 300. So the full-size printout, here's one for the neon lettering. Come on. There we are. The neon lettering that I started everything off with, I know that this had 300 pixels per inch because I made the image. And it, too, is even jagged. See the little jaggy bits that you get at the top of the P there? So yeah, in the end, 75 to 110 pixels per inch, they can still look good. That's pretty much what you're going to end up being resigned to using because you're using PowerPoint. And I know that you are all brave and resourceful as a profession. So I know there's times that you have no other option than to make it work. I'll leave you with these 3 rules. Come along now. First off, pull your images from a reputable source that offers full resolution downloads. You want your pixel count to be in the thousands, okay? Anything less than that is going to be really small printed out. You're looking at maybe wallet size or snapshot size at that point. Work using the biggest slide size that you can. When you actually go to print the item out, you want it to not have to make too far of a trip to scale upward or downward, as the case may be. Use the biggest slide size that you can. And never use an image of text. Those jagged pieces that you saw on that camera strap, text gets a lot worse because it's nothing but fine lines and curves. And there's really no excuse for it. You can always add a text box and just type in. So it bears repeating, never use an image of text. Okay. But do use your images wisely. Make your image do as much of the heavy lifting design-wise as you can. If it's not just a background image that you're putting in to grab some texture, it should be doing something to draw the user in and or help tell the story of all your poster's data. So to that end, a couple tips. First, play with scale. Don't be afraid to be bold, especially if you have the pixels to back it up. Use the images to add some visual attention to your design. Visual attention is one of those designerish terms that means that we engage the user because it presents them with things not in a way you'd normally see them. For instance, this camera pushed off the edge of the slide. With images, one of my favorite ways to do this is to hide part of it too. You can put it behind text. As long as you can still read the text, it's great to overlay things like that. Also, you can direct the user's eye really effectively. For instance, a face with eyes looking to the left will naturally entice a viewer to follow that eye line and glance to the left. Even a strong diagonal line or color block can work as an image to direct the eye. And there's a right and a wrong way of doing this. I hear this all the time. I'll just screen grab this and put it on my poster. It makes me cringe every time. The problem is a screenshot is going to be all of about 1,100 dots by about 1,900 dots, if you're lucky. That translates to about a 4:6 printed photo size. Not what you were expecting, right? And again, it's often what? Yep, an image of text. You know, people are grabbing screenshots of websites more often than not, and they want to read what's on the screen. You're really doing a disservice. So how do you get around this? Here's that make it work thing that I was talking about before. You find a computer that you have available to you with the best quality, highest resolution display possible. If you happen to have access to a Retina Mac, more power to you. You open up the site on that computer, on that display, with all the toolbars and docks turned off, with the browser open to full screen mode. Usually that's by pressing F11, and then you take the screenshot. This is where that Retina display comes in handy. That screenshot will have as many pixels on it as it possibly can. I'll also give you bonus points if you use the browser's zoom function to enlarge the page to show what's relevant to your message before capturing that screenshot image. And of course, if all else fails, designers all have their own bag of tricks to make things look presentable when it shouldn't be possible. In my case, my dirty little secret is a program I bought a few years back called Vector Magic. I don't own stock, I'm not an owner of the company or anything, but it's something that has saved my proverbial bacon on more than a few occasions. The program is offered as a service now online at their site. You don't have to install anything even, so you don't need the IT department. It's not free. It's currently about $8 a month. I think it's $7.99 a month for access to convert images from that raster or that light bright format made up of dot by dot by dot to something called a vector graphic. And a vector graphic is all math. It's all geometry with angles and curves, like a spirograph. And since it's all geometry with angles and curves, it's all numbers, and everything there is smooth, and more importantly, able to be scaled, because you can multiply that time after time after time, and it never looks blocky or Lego-like. It's pretty amazing. So I'll throw that out there for you. Okay, so moving on from images, I want to talk to you briefly about text, specifically your typefaces and how you manage them on your posters. In 2012, this guy, Earl Morris, he's at the New York Times. He ran a little experiment to see which font would be considered the most persuasive. The experiment involved a little trickery. They asked readers about their level of agreement with certain statements and presented the statements in varying fonts. They then calculated the statements that showed which statements showed more overall agreement with the users, how users registered more agreement with, and declared a distinct ranking for those that definitely showed higher levels of agreement and markedly low levels of disagreement. The two overall winners were Computer Modern and Baskerville. They were clearly hands down above the rest as being the most trustworthy of all of the fonts tested. Comic Sans, unsurprisingly, was clearly neither strong at gaining agreement and proved to provoke high levels of disagreement. And interestingly, Helvetica, the Switzerland of generic fonts, was kind of polarizing. It showed high levels of agreement, but it also showed some pretty dissuasive properties too. So people seem to not quite know what to make of it. This is all to say that there are indeed scientifically correct fonts to use. It seems to be that a serif that has a thick, thin line to it is considered to be more trusted. And while the sample size was small for this study, it's safe to say that Comic Sans is never going to be your correct answer. Now, before we go further, something else about nomenclature. Fonts or typefaces are measured in units called points. It's based on an old French standard of measurement. Suffice it to say, an inch is 72 points, roughly. So if you're setting your letters at, say, 144 point, you're setting your letters that will have about 2 inches of space from the top of the highest ascender. The highest ascender would be that tall vertical part of an H, to the lowest point on a descender. That would be the bottom swoop on a lowercase g. So let that be your general guide. A line of text at 144 point will take up about 2 inches of vertical space on your poster. The size of your overall poster should dictate the size of the elements, and everything else should fall into place proportionally. For a 4-foot by 8-foot standard conference poster, I usually end up with body text somewhere in the 32 to 40 point range, depending on how much body someone's given me. Sometimes they give me a lot more body than others, so I have to just sort of gauge that accordingly. My headlines, that's what I call my headings rather, the background, methods, results, conclusions. Those pieces of text I usually place in the 90s or the low hundreds of point sizes, and my titles can run the gamut, to be honest. I don't really limit myself too much. I've placed some pretty spectacularly large text as a title on posters before. All of these are approximations because some fonts, especially some sans serif fonts or some monospace fonts, they can actually stand up to larger point sizes without seeming to take up that much real estate. If they have shorter ascenders or shorter descenders, they would look actually bigger at a smaller point size. Okay, so here's where we get to talk about some of the design principles like scale and proximity when designing the poster as a whole. In my own workflow, I usually start off with a title. Choosing the right font and setting it at the right size is probably the most difficult part of the process. And to be fair, it's done by feel. The title font, for me, sets the tone for the rest of the poster. So if it's a poster about a fun project, I'll probably use a more casual font. If it's a poster about a more serious thing that we've done at the library, I'll use something a little more studious. So note that if you are going to go crazy and pick one of the crazy display fonts, this would be your chance. The title should be, in my opinion anyway, the largest text on the poster. After that, we follow a hierarchy of information to let the viewer ingest your work as easily as possible. I typically go from largest to smallest, and I go from the title to the headings, to the author, to the body, and then to any funding information that I might have. On this particular poster, I didn't have any funding information to add, but normally that's my general rule of thumb. And like I said, those sizes are not necessarily specific. It's all relative to each other. But when it comes to laying things out, while I've got this example up here, I might as well also give a shout out to the design principle of the rule of thirds and fifths. If you've got a large expanse of space to break up, it's always a good rule of thumb. Actually, it's more like a tenet of design drilled into graphic arts students to grid out your space in either thirds or fifths and align things based off of that. This little ditty almost follows that rule of thirds. It's pretty close. It probably would have gotten me a B in one of my courses. So now we're on to PowerPoint, and this is where we talk about little tips and tricks to help you get through the day and make PowerPoint bend to your will. We're going to start off with some stupid text tricks. We're going to then deal with some image tricks, and then we're going to touch on some odds and ends, some of the little technical details that'll make your work look a little bit better in the end. My first tip for dealing with text in particular is to stop fighting with the auto everything. PowerPoint can make some unintended changes to your content, especially if you're like me and you start off dealing with text boxes and then flow your content into those. PowerPoint likes to resize your text boxes for you. It's being so helpful. There's a bunch of other things that you probably noticed it does. If you go to File Options and click on Proofing, you'll see that there's a button there for autocorrect options. If you click on that, you get an actual menu up, and one of the tabs on there is the auto format as you type. Here's where you can turn off things like smart quotes or the automatic conversion of web addresses to hyperlinks, because hyperlinks on a poster might be a tiny little pet peeve of me. So yeah. Next up is the arrangement of those text boxes. And this goes for more than just text boxes. It's when you're moving any elements around on your poster, really, in PowerPoint. Go ahead and make literal use of the Arrange tool on the home toolbar in your ribbon. Not only is it where you'll go to set the layer order of objects, so you can stack things one on top of the other, but also it's where you get some great tools under the Align option. Particularly useful is the Distribute horizontal and vertical options to make quick work of getting even spacing for multiple elements on a poster. The way you do that, you select all of the items you want to distribute by clicking on each one while keeping the Shift key pressed down, and then you choose how you'd like them distributed. PowerPoint is going to divvy up the space between all of those objects using the furthest two in the group as the outer boundaries. As far as images go, One of my favorite things is the Remove Backgrounds tool, and I'll actually do a little demonstration of this for you just in case anybody hasn't seen it. But it's basically how you would get rid of the background of different images. It works better with some images than others, but it'll help out, especially when you have something that's, say, on a field of grass or something set against the sky. It's nice to be able to remove some things and have just the object that you wanted in the photo. Along those same lines, there's also a set transparent color available. This and the remove background, they show up when you actually click on the image on your slide. It's a separate toolbar that shows up in your ribbon panel for images. And to access the set transparent color, that's under the color selector, which would be the third button on the left. When you choose select transparent color, your cursor will actually change over. It'll look like a little magic wand that has a little bracket on the end of it, or like an arrowhead. And it's at the very tip of the arrowhead where PowerPoint is sampling the color that it's going to set as transparent. In this case, I used the same image that's both the same Adobe logo. I just selected the red to be transparent, and that's what you get over there. That's pretty useful when you have a logo that's got, say, a white background behind it, and you want to get rid of the white and just have the logo. As far as odds and ends go, this one's pretty important. PowerPoint, because it's meant to view things on screen and not to print, it's going to want to downsample your images to that screen resolution that we talked about earlier. So it's going to want to make them 100 dpi or thereabouts. You can mitigate that by going into your options panel, going to the advanced section, and choosing under image size and quality, do not compress images in this file. It is a file-by-file preference, so it's not something that's universal and going to stay turned on in PowerPoint for you all the time. They do offer a default resolution. You'll see that underneath there. And it says high fidelity. That is what the default files falls to. However, I haven't really had much luck finding what Microsoft actually says high fidelity is. So I would rather just keep my original resolution, and that's why I choose not to compress files in an image. This will give you the best output that you can possibly hope for with it. And the poster size caveat. One of the bigger drawbacks of using PowerPoint for poster layout programming is the physical size limit. The way to mitigate this is pretty simple. Say you have a 4-foot by 8-foot poster that you want to design using PowerPoint. You would have to have the finished dimensions that you'd like to see your poster and tell the printer to scale it by 200% when they print it out. So for a 4-foot by 8-foot poster, you would set up your slide that you're going to lay out everything on to be 2-foot by 4-foot. Okay? And the last odd and end is a weird one. Okay, so yeah, Microsoft includes a handy feature in its Office suite now to save as PDF. And it makes sharing all of your Office documents super simple and convenient. Unfortunately, it's a one-size-fits-all PDF wrapper that's applied to your poster like an ill-fitting hand-me-down wrapper, as opposed to a custom-tailored one. The best way to get around this, really, is to use a full version of Adobe Acrobat. If you happen to have a full version of Acrobat installed on your computer, it'll allow you to distill your document. You basically just print to PDF. And that lets you choose the best quality PDF available. You'd want to choose press quality at that point. The Microsoft Save As function is a definite shortcut, and it works for sharing your document. So it's going to make your document web ready, which means it's going to compress things, which could lead to some quality loss. It's a real shame to go through all the work of finding great images and manipulating them just right, just to have their superb quality output thwarted at the last possible moment. Now, you may not notice much of a difference. I'm just putting it out there that for the best possible results, you would want to control your own PDF setup, okay? And now we get to the fun part, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Here's where we're going to look at some of the posters that I've done, and I'll give you some background on why I chose some of the things that I chose. I'm going to start off with one of the interesting things that I ended up finding, which was a draft of one that I had done for a couple of our librarians here. This poster in particular, this conference was, the poster size was something square, which was unusual for me. So they gave me all of their content, and you can see this is how I lay things out. I start with the actual title, and then I move on to laying in the different headings, and then finally the text. I had looked at this, and it was pioneering a research impact service, kind of dry, but I kind of riffed off the pioneering feel of it. I don't know exactly why I chose the font that I chose. That one in particular is kind of a craftsman style, so that dictated the rest of the decoration on there. So the next version that I have of that, you can see that I've gone in and added a few more elements. Here I've added some clouds. They're breaking into the title, and I've added some mountains on the side, only one side. So you see I've started to add some visual tension, give it a little bit of interest, something to look at that's not so symmetrical. The next one's kind of dramatic after that. I was using these shapes as placeholders and was eventually going to add in different textures behind them. So you can see this filled in. And here I've got textures applied to everything. The background is a watercolor texture that I just spattered on some watercolor paper. The trees are made out of, well, images of forests and bushes. The dirt's made out of dirt. The mountains are made out of stone. And the clouds are cotton and some soap suds. But in this version, and I think you'll agree, the text is kind of getting lost on the background. And I really like the background, so I didn't want to get rid of that. So the next version has everything all dolled up. And if I can get that open for you really quick. And here that'll build in. And now I've gone ahead and added a glow behind the text. This is a function that you can do in PowerPoint as well. And it just sort of sets the text apart and gives it some more contrast from the background. That way it's got that saliency that we're talking about. I've also added a few more elements to the poster. There's a little fox and some rabbits at the bottom and a little covered wagon just to reinforce that pioneering aspect to it. So there's that one. I'm going to share one now that I actually don't like very much. It's kind of what happens when you're not necessarily given much as far as direction goes. Let's see. I'll get that one open really quick. Maybe. Not that one. More. There we are. Yeah, this one was about assessment for developing user-centered workshops. There really was no imagery that either author wanted to go with it, and there really wasn't much that I was coming up with. The conference was in the springtime, so I felt like drawing some flowers, and it ended up looking like this Herbal Essences shampoo bottle for some reason. Not exactly my favorite. It's still effective. Everything's still conveyed. It's bright. It's cheerful. it'll definitely capture some attention, but maybe not for the best reasons. But one that does capture attention for some good reasons is one that was done for Nancy. And this is the Thinking Inside the Blocks outreach. This was my first time doing a bilingual poster, so the challenge was that there was going to be a lot of text on it. So what I ended up doing was, the text is actually kind of small, small for me anyway, but I reinforced a lot of it with the imagery. So when I made things using textures that were appropriate to them. For instance, the church is made from tiles from a mosque, some fabric from a sari that I found. The library is made out of books and paper and some windows. The beauty salon is made out of hair curlers and foils. So it's kind of fun. That's a way of making sure that your images reinforce your message. And it actually looks pretty cool when all is said and done. And that is it for the examples that I wanted to show you all. I want to go through and actually show you in PowerPoint some of the things that we talked about, specifically getting those images and how to go ahead and remove backgrounds from images. So let me go ahead and insert an image on this slide, and I will show you how that's done. If it will play with me nicely. It looks like it's not playing with me nicely. Really? Okay, I really wanted to show you guys this, and unfortunately, PowerPoint is not cooperating with me, which is really unfortunate. Okay, there we are. Phew. Let's go ahead and grab an image. Okay, so this is just an image that happens to be on this computer. So here's a homeless dude. And let's say we want to remove his background and just have him. So I have the picture selected. You'll see I get the Picture Tools menu pop up. From there, there's the Remove Background choice. Now, this does a pretty good job of approximating what I want to do. When you choose Remove Background, PowerPoint will assess the image. It looks at the center of the image for what you want to keep. That's just its default, how its algorithm goes. You can fine-tune and you can totally tell it what you want if you want something different. In this case, I'm missing some of my homeless guy, so I'm going to mark some areas to keep. You'll see that most of the image is covered with this magenta. That's what's going to be removed. That's what's currently, quote-unquote, selected. So if I take my pencil and I have the Mark Areas to Keep selected, I can draw a line over areas that I want to keep. And here I want his blanket, so I'm going to keep that. And that looks pretty good. I don't think I'm missing a little bit of the blanket there. So I'm going to select that. And I'm going to go up to make sure that I get all of that. And that looks pretty good. So once I have everything marked where I want it, I can say Keep Changes, and it goes ahead and it deletes the rest of the image. So now he can float wherever he needs to float, and he's got everything else removed behind him. Okay? The color removal tool, the other one that I had mentioned, which is the Set Transparent Color. That one, it's not going to work really well on this image. I'm going to show you using it anyway. Here's the color option. Again, in that Picture Tools toolbar under Format, and you go under Color. And here's where you can If you wanted to change it and make them a duotone or something like that, you could do that there. But here's the set transparent color option. Once you do that, your tool actually changes, and it looks like a little, well, it's a little arrow. And the very tip of that arrow is what it's going to set as transparent. Now, this is really unforgiving. So, like I said, it's not going to really work that well on this image. I'm going to choose this green of this shirt over here, and it really did nothing. If I change the view and zoom in on it, you'll see that it actually set 1 pixel as transparent. This works really well, and this is more suited for when you have a flat, a big field of, say, like white. Usually it's a logo that you're trying to separate so you can float on top of something else. Okay? So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all that I had for you guys. I'm going to circle back to the chat and look for some questions. Let's see.
Hi, Tom. I just pasted comments and questions there, a couple of which you have answered, you'll see.
Oh, okay, great. Oh, somebody else has a Betty Jean. That's awesome. Actually, I call mine Betty Spaghetti. I can absolutely provide you the citation for the research on that. It was an article from New York Times. I will find that and post that for you guys. Is the background removal and transparent in PowerPoint? Yeah, it's in PowerPoint. It's much easier to do in Photoshop. And by all means, if you have Photoshop available to you, go for it. But this was in PowerPoint, yeah. And adding the glow behind the text, great question. So let me go ahead and make some text for you guys. Actually, I'll just add a title. Okay, so to make the glow behind the text, you go over to the drawing tools. You have to have the text box selected, okay? And the drawing tool shows up in your ribbon. And in here, there's all sorts of different effects that you can apply. And if you look under text effects, there's glow. And if you go to more glow colors, you can go ahead and choose white, which is what I ended up doing there. I had a white glow behind the text, so it kind of set it apart from everything else. I'll do that here. I'll set a white glow on this, and we'll move it, and we will layer it. Actually, we'll just bring it forward. So you can see the white now is setting it a little bit apart from the rest of the image. So it makes it a lot easier to read. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, so when you want to print in a full Acrobat program, you need to save your PDF as no. You will, if you're going to use the full Acrobat program to make the PDF, what you're going to do, Bridget, is you're going to end up printing to PDF, and that's how it saves it. When you have a full version of Acrobat installed, you get kind of like a virtual printer installed on your machine. And anytime you send a job to print to that, it automatically saves a file as PDF. And that's what you're going to want to do. And that's the PDF that you would send off to the printer, because that would be the better quality one. You would just save your PowerPoint as a PowerPoint and keep it that way. The time to design the trees and whatnot, that one? Yeah, that one took a bit of time. To be honest, the trees were all one tree that I just cloned, just copy and pasted it a bunch of times. Same thing goes with everything else on that. The hardest part was probably choosing that font. I spent a lot of time on that. And yeah, I definitely, to answer Catherine's question as well, I do look at the text tone or the personality of the font. I have to also consider, usually when I'm doing these for a bunch of folks who are exhibiting at the same place. So I'm forced to make them different. I can't use the same font on each one. Otherwise, it would look horrible. So I'm forced to keep in mind, too, that they're probably going to be viewed together. I do think that serif fonts definitely show more formality. I like serif fonts. Serif fonts, by the way, are the ones that have little feet on them. This one right here is a sans serif. That one means it doesn't have little feet. Let me choose a serif font real quick for y'all. There we go, Caslon. This is a serif font, so the I has little feet on the bottom, the L has a little foot, and it has a little like ligature on the top. Serif fonts are actually easier to read. They give the eye more to discern. So I like using serif fonts for body, and then I'll use sans serif fonts for my titles and my headings. More often than not, that's usually how I go. Because those are going to be much larger, it still makes them easier to read from across the room. So yeah, thank you. Both really good questions. What else do we have? We'll keep going. Nope, for Dara on image size and compression, that is set up per document. So I set that up when I create the slide. So if I were working in PowerPoint, I start off by creating a slide, brand new slide. I go into design and I choose my dimensions. So I will make it as big as I need to make it. 24 by 48, or no, we'll do 48 by 24, how's that? And once I've done that, then I go in and set up my options. There we are. Because each time it defaults back to not being checked. Okay. The best places for the free images, that's actually included in the handout, Barbara. And Bridget, do I find images get pixelated on the edges when I remove the background? Absolutely. There is a way to mitigate that. When I remove the background from something, you can soften the edges of your images. That is included in, let me zoom out of this because I can't move around on here. Okay, so with the image selected, if I go into the picture tools under format, softening the edges, I believe, is under corrections. Yes, sharpen and soften. Unfortunately, the soften actually softens all of the image. So it does actually help a little bit if you're getting some extra artifacts. Or sometimes if it has like a gradient on it, you'll get banding, it's called. You might have noticed that on some things where it looks like there's concentric circles coming out from a gradient. Doing a soften on that will help mitigate that. So yeah, that's what I would do for that. Anything else? Oh, Marion. Yep, I do have other suggestions. They're in the handout, actually. I find a lot of great things coming from government sources, actually. My latest revelation has been the National Park Service. They're amazing, and they have really beautiful galleries with amazing stuff to use, and it's pretty diverse. So yeah, that's been my latest revelation. Library of Congress is also really good. You do have to be careful though. Library of Congress, not everything is free of copyright, obviously. So you need to check what archive you're in and what permissions and licenses are available for it. NASA is also great, and I have that on the handout as well. I use a lot of their things for texture or for background. I don't like telling people that, oh, I used, this moon of Jupiter as, the text, the background for your text, but it works out great. And what else we got? Thanks, Jill. Yeah, it takes some time. None of these are done in an hour or so. I shouldn't say that. I do have some folks who do demand things done quickly. Usually they're not that inspired. When it's something that looks really cool, I've usually put a lot of time into it, to be honest. And yes, that will work if you've inserted them on the slide, as long as you haven't saved it. Okay, so that affects when you save the actual PowerPoint. So yeah, give that a shot. And I think that's everything. Oh, thanks, Marion. Anybody else have anything for me? This has been great, y'all. I was really nervous. I don't know if you can tell, but this has been kind of great. You have my contact information. It's on the handout. Feel free to shoot me an email with any questions that you have. I'll do my best to answer them.
Thank you, Tom. While people are thinking if they have any more questions, I have pasted into the chat box the URL for the MLA evaluation and certificate, so you can get your MLA CE. And I wanted to let everybody know that our next webinar is Friday, April 28th. Tom, can you make that one slideshow? I think you've got the controls. So Friday, April 28th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The presentation is called Virtual, Augmented, and Mixed Reality Uses and Applications. It's presented by Jen Bishop from Carroll County Public Library and Liz Sunderman from the Maryland State Department of Education. And we hope you'll join us. And if we can get the slide to show, we'll give you there we go. There's the link for more information and how to register for it or how to join it. So again, don't forget to do your MLA eval and CE. If you want to access the recording of this webinar, the archive URL is at the top of the screen there too. And Tom, I don't see any more questions popped in, I don't think. But people, as you say, have your contact info and can follow up with you if necessary. And thank you so much for doing this, Tom.
Pleasure.
It's so helpful to all of us who have to work with posters and images on PowerPoint and everything. So thank you, Tom.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Well, it's fantastic. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. I hope you'll join us on Friday, April 28th for the next webinar. Take care and goodbye, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.